Alrighty guys, we're back for Rakdos Wizards, and this is a Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. We have all four Coruscation Mage, 2 mana 2/2 with Offspring for 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Beautiful, that's kind of the whole theme of the deck list, poke the opponent's face. So how else are we going to be doing that? Well, we have all four. Black Mage's Rod, it has Job Select, so it comes in with that hero, turns it into a wizard with this ability. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Cool stuff. Not the last of the pokes. We actually have all four cornered by Black Mages. Acting as some spot removal, target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, but also coming in with a 0/1 wizard token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. And not the only way to get those awesome tokens, we actually have all four Circle of Powers, a 4-mana sorcery, draw 2, lose 2, get one of those awesome wizards, and then also wizards you control get +1/+0 and gain lifelink until end of turn. That includes their ability too, so that's pretty neat. We actually have a couple Kuja, Genome Sorcerer here on the top end as well. It's a 4-mana 3/4 legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, get one of those awesome 0/1 wizards. Then if you control 4 or more wizards, transform Kuja into Trance Kuja, Fate Defied, a 4/6 legendary creature, of course. If a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. And believe it or not the only way to double the damage from our wizards here on the actual top end. Collective Inferno, a 5-mana enchantment, so that's pretty steep. Luckily, it has Convoke, so our creatures can help cast the spell. As it enters, choose a creature type, choose wizards, double all damage that sources you control of the chosen type would deal. Cool stuff. All right. So all of a sudden those pokes become punches to the opponent's face. Now what other wizards do we have packed in? We have 4 Dark Confidants. It's a 2-mana 2/1, happens to be a human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value, which hopefully isn't too steep. We do have more spot removal packed in outside of the cornered by Black Mages. We actually have a couple Strategic Betrayals. Keeping the opponent's grave nice and clean is actually really important. We also have all 4 Requiting Hex. 1 black mana instant speed as an additional cost to cast the spell. You may blight 1. Destroy target creature with mana value 2 or less. If the additional cost was paid, you gain 2 life, which you're probably not going to blight 1 very often in this deck list in particular. So I guess we can count Burn as spot removal too, but definitely wanted more ways to hit the opponent's face, so all 4 Burst Lightning making the cut, and a 1 of Lightning Strike as well. A couple Duress doing the thing and doing it well, and an Intimidation Tactics making the cut as a 1 of 2. Over in the mana base, Lindblum Industrial Regency. We can do some rearranging and count this as the adventure side first, because it's another way to get that awesome 0/1 wizard on the board. Now we also have all 4 Blazemire Verge, all 4 Blood Crypt. Let's go. Finally, guys, right? We even have a Raucous Theater in here. Yeah, you don't want too much tapped land in a deck list like this, but I do think that it's going to be pretty greedy based on like what colors you want open and whatnot on any given turn. And then all 4 Starting Town as well. No honorable mentions this time around. Let me know down in the comments what should have made the cut as an honorable mention at the very least. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, yeah, let's take this into some Ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be super janky. My test games have been really back and forth. That is what I'm expecting here today. I would not be surprised at all if we lost most of these. However, I wouldn't be making a video on it if I wasn't expecting some amount of fun. And I know that these style of poke deck lists are really fun, especially when you get popping off with a whole bunch of pokes on any given turn. We'll give it a shot. Turn 1 Raucous Theater is actually pretty good. The extra Surveil. Healer's Hawk. Okay, we could pop that, but I think I'd rather just Raucous Theater for the turn. I'm very tempted to keep this just to see if it does something. I think usually, if we're going for an actual victory, I think we'd send that in this scenario. Scar Sentry, okay. Blood Crypt can come down tapped. We can still Hex the Sentry and let them keep the Hawk. We won't take the 2 then, next turn. Or we play the Swamp. Don't worry about the 2 next turn and keep both of the Hex open. Before they untap, we're going to do this now. And then the decision. I guess we do actually want to keep the Hex open, don't we? And not worry about the 2 damage. And Scar Sentry, nice. I still got 1 here. It could be a protection spell. If it is a protection spell, would they really protect the Healer's Hawk? And then what would happen is Cornered by Black Mage's next turn gets around protection anyways. Oh, nice. I mean, this also works because we're taking less damage. There you go, guys. We didn't have to take the 2 from the crypt. That's pretty good. Very nice. Keeping the opponent's board state clean. Getting a wizard. Essence Channeler, okay. More removal definitely wouldn't hurt here. Kuja's pretty good. Collective Inferno can come down this turn too. I think it's Kuja. Circle of Power seems good too. We're 1 short here. Kuja helps us go even more wide, which makes Collective Inferno even cheaper. Maybe lets us actually play Confidant on the same turn or something. Essence Channeler is a big problem because as soon as they get a second creature on the board too, once they can start like redistributing its counters. Oh, they're going to double down on the Kuja here. I'd say that's worthwhile. Especially since they're getting the extra. Okay, very nice opponent. Double Lightning Helix, boosting the Channeler, getting it into the air. Very good. Okay, Mountain. This is a problem. We used all our removal pretty early. I'd say that was just well worth it. The double Helix for sure. I think that was well worth it. So we do have Confidant into Collective Inferno. We're at 13. We got to be a little bit afraid, I suppose. But I kind of want to save Circle of Power for next turn, you know? I really don't want to chump the Channeler, but I'm pretty sure we'll have to. It's going to let me choose the tap, right? I hope it lets me choose, because I want to save one of these guys as the chump. There we go. 2 gets through. Call Wizard, of course. Okay, with starting town here. Oh, we don't have the chump. What am I saying? Oh my goodness. I always do that with Essence Channeler. It always fools me. Yes, they can just activate the starting town to get it in the air regardless. And Impactcal comes down, guys. Oh, crap, dude. Okay. Okay, we need some more of our removal off the top here for sure. Taking 2 from the Confidant. Ow. Oh no. Oh no. I'd love the 2. Give our wizards lifelink, but then if we miss mana off the circle, it's like it's over, right? Stuck between a rock and a channeler, huh? Give me 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. We'll find mana. I mean, it'll be the yip essence the opponent. We're 14 cards deep. We got 5 on the board. It literally, we could miss the mana easily. Easily here. Coruscation Mage into the Black Mage's Rod is pretty cool if the opponent was a little bit closer to actually dying from these punches. They're down to 19. We missed the mana! No! That's okay, guys. That's okay. I think it was worth the risk, right? If we found the mana, we could still play the Black Mage's Rod. We get lifelink that way. Hey, back up to 10. Wow. They just let it go through instead of blocking with the pack out, or for that matter, too. I mean, that kind of worked out, didn't it? Maybe I should have... Oh, Sheltered by Ghost. Ooh. Ooh. That's pretty good. I get a couple more gnomes. I think we'll take the 8. Yeah, surprisingly, it kind of worked out. Now, actually, if we end up... Wow. I don't know. This game, I guess, got me dazed and confused. If we chump, right, we take 7. Then we can take the 2 from the Circle of Power, maybe actually find. But now without the Collective Inferno, now we won't get there, I guess. I'll still take 1 chump on the ground, I suppose. 1, 2, 3. Circle of Power. This is a hard one to calculate, guys. It really is. I think either way we want to see more with Circle of Power. Probably. And the only way to do that is to accept 1 chump on the ground. So we'll see what we draw here. We go back up to 17. We do find mana, and more mana too. All that would have been pretty nice last turn. Oh my goodness. Right, so Collective Inferno, 1, 2, 3, and then we still have 4. So we could do Circle of Power after the Inferno, I suppose. There's like, look at these options, dude. Let me know in the comments, what route do I take here that's actually optimized? Because this is crazy. I guess it's Inferno first, 1, 2, 3, tap, then we don't have any swings though. Then Circle of Power comes down. I have no idea. I really don't. It could start with Circle of Power. Even the Coruscation Mage could be pretty cool on the board state as a 2. You know what? Let's just go Mage. It's a little bit of a simpler play. It's a little bit simpler, but it's fine. It's fine. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's neat, dude. Look at this. Actually, if the opponent didn't have removal for the Inferno, the first Inferno, I mean, we would have gotten there, dude. For real. Nice deck, says the opponent. Thank you. Let's go. That's all we want. That's what we want. My cabbages. What do I say? What do I say? Let's give the opponent the GGs. Yeah, that was cool, man. That was cool. But like, we had this array of options, all of which were hitting through to the opponent's face to some extent. There's pokes here, there's punches there. I'm pretty sure going the Inferno routes was the best bet in those ones. If they missed that Sheltered by Ghost, I guess it would have been ours. Just incredibly tough decisions. I'm very curious to know your guys' opinion on that match. And one to go back and rewatch too, as always going back and watching in hindsight is a little easier. It's a little easier to find the plays. After given all the knowledge of what was left in the opponent's hand or what they were going to play next too. As neat is, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of satisfied with what we were able to showcase there. I'm going to start with Starting Town because I suppose we could just draw Starting Town for the next 2 turns, in which case I don't want to have any tapped land at all. The only reason I'd start with a Swamp is if I had a Hex in hand, and I think I'd be patient with a Duress. Speaking of which, there you go. Yeah, patience with the Duress makes sense to me. We start with Coruscation Mage because then we can play the Black Mage's Rod, or early on here, Dark Confidant's pretty good too. Actually, it is Dark Confidant because I want to find my 3rd mana. And I suppose Confidant might take pressure off of our face. Gev. Oh, wow. Okay. So with Bastronaut in there, I suppose it could be Lizards, but it could also be some kind of max speed with Lizards packed in style deck list. There you go. We do find some extra mana here. Betrayal would be great. I'm going to save the Mage for Offspring. I do think it's actually going to work out here then. Save the Blood Crypt too for now. Or I could play the Blood Crypt tapped and, like I said, be patient with the Duress, but if I want to get removal out of the opponent's hand... Yeah, maximize pokes with Duress is great and everything, but I actually... No, I am going to be greedy. Let's be greedy with it, right? And at that point too, I'll start with the swing because this is a really, really good trade for us. I should have done that before playing the Black Mage's Rod, but actually I think I just prefer this trade over like tricking the opponent with something. The opponent realized that. Yeah, taking less damage with the Blood Crypt is probably a good idea. Beat up to 3. What are they going to do with this Gev? Bastronaut number 2. Ooh, okay. Okay, Stalactite Stalker. Okay. Okay, Requiting Hex is pretty good. Collective Inferno. Thank goodness that's not what we saw off the Confidant. Wow. Okay, the opponent's deck list is pretty freaking sweet, dude. Pay 2. We should probably take care of the Gev. That's just a lot to deal with. But like I said, like how greedy do I go? Maybe all the greedies. I think we'll survive next turn. This is a really bad idea, man. Maybe I should go for survival. Ah, man, I guess. We pay the 2 now. Okay, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. I see the path now. Skip the Offspring. I think it's probably usually good practice to start with Duress, but the opponent's tapped out anyways. See what's in the opponent's hand here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. They don't have their 3rd. I think I'm going to actually take the Cinder Strike here, guys. They could miss the 3rd off the top. I don't want to miss out on my creatures right now. I think that's okay. We also, I suppose, we could have gained the 2 back from the Hex ability here too. Are these good trades for us right now? They totally are, aren't they? Wow. I could have swung first, but the opponent's going to take it anyways, luckily. So a couple awkward orders there. And then another thing, if I didn't plan on like swinging with a future Coruscation Mage, we could have actually used the Blight 1 to gain 2 there, which could have come in handy. The Squelcher comes down. Nice. Mana off the Confidant is good. Okay, how do we want to do this? Play the Swamp, for sure. You know that much. If we go tap, 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 we have 3 open. 2, 7, not quite there yet. Not quite there damage-wise, right? 2, 3. We start with Circle of Power into Collective Inferno. We gain a little bit of life back. This is a hard deck list, guys. I shouldn't have chose this one as the first one I'm playing today. Strategic Betrayal. We die on the backswing likely here. Is the scariest part of this all. I think it's actually just Circle of Power. Find the mana. No, we already played mana. Well, it'd be 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use my one-timer, I suppose, to count. If we full swing here with these, they're probably going to block, but then we don't have the Inferno. If we Collective Inferno, It's just, we just gain 3 because it's not actually on the board doing the double yet. In this scenario, we gain 9. They probably don't win on the backswing. So we full swing, get them down. If we only had a 1 mana card in hand, we actually could have ended it this turn, right? So that was probably the optimal play. Circle of Power, find a 1 mana card. Down to 2. Back up to 17. Like I said, now probably they probably don't get there. If they have any extra life, then the Lightning Strike can still just directly hit their face too. Got a nice full swing with Double Strike here, but down to 9 thanks to the life gain, and there you go. Opponent concedes. Wow. Wow, dude. Yeah, that's one thing too. Something that my brain wasn't really computing was I was trying to figure out how to get the damage through with the pokes, but I wasn't really computing the fact that it's actually a really good swing when you have a wide board state of wizards. That little boost, that little +1/+0, it does matter, and the lifelink definitely mattered there too, as we went back down to 5 after their swing. That's crazy, dude. This is fun. It's hard though. I hope I can do a little better for you guys in the last half of the video. And speaking of which, while I have you here in the middle, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And then also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? What you got for me? Actually, I don't really like this hand, but we have early removal, and I think we'll find our 3rd mana easy peasy. There's like, it needs to be a black source, and the mana base is majority black sources, so over the Burst Lightning open, I am just going to get Starting Town down for Requiting Hex open, which I guess is also Burst Lightning open, right? But we'll see. We'll see. It's one of those scenarios too. Okay, we're going to be very patient with the Burst Lightning. Come on, mana off the top. Come on. Come on, mana. Speaking of Starting Town. Yeah, for the Starting Town start, it's one of those scenarios again where if we do see more Starting Town in the next couple turns, then I never want to be held up, you know? Spyglass Siren? I don't know if that's worth the Hex quite yet, especially if this is Dimir Tempo, which is, it's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one if we miss mana. We'll see. I mean, this could have been a mulligan, you know? Moon Shadow. I think I'll save the Hex. I think I'll go ahead and just drop the Burst Lightning on the Moon Shadow. It's unfortunately damage that's not hitting the opponent's face, but while we have the open mana, that's fine. We do find mana, guys, but it's not the black source. Crap. Okay, now we need even more mana off the top. Crap, dude. I guess a 4th unopened. I mean, it might not even save us. Circle of Power, I guess, could draw us a little further, but Kuja probably dies immediately to Dimir colors, you know? I'm still going to save the Hex here. The Siren's just going to do 1 anyways, so... Didn't sacrifice anything. Yeah, after the target of a pursuit, if the pursuit was actually gaining them life and extra counters, I guess the Hex would be pretty good. Hey, mana. All right, dude. Wow. I think I'm just going to go cornered by black mages, and then we don't have Hex open. Kuja would be awesome, but... what am I saying, guys? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's all risky at this point. I believe you, Kuja. You can do this. Opponent, don't read that. It's not even good. It's a terrible card. Don't look at it. It's completely okay to let Kuja survive. Fourth mana is a Fabled Passage. Nice. I don't see too much Fabled Passage outside of the landfall builds, and that's kind of surprising because it's still excellent mana fixing and deck thinning. It does everything you need it to do, really. Depending on the deck list, of course. Like, it depends how greedy everything is that you're casting out, too. Like, in this scenario, we definitely want a dual land over basics, you know? Chaser's Talent. Maybe Kuja actually does survive here. Usually when it's removal, the opponents, like, hop to it immediately. Rottenmouth Viper. Ooh. Oh, crap. The Obsessive Pursuit boosting the Siren up to 5. Down to 10 for the turn. Nothing open here. Alright. I'm going to lose the 4 life, guys. I don't know how we're going to take care of the Viper yet, because they have an extra sacrifice with the Otter. If we had another black source on the board, okay, Strategic Betrayal is pretty good too, but yeah, again, how are we going to deal with that? Everything. That. How are we going to deal with that? Without another black source on the board, we don't like have Hex for the Siren and the Cornered. I guess at that point we have the Strategic Betrayal. If we do something like Circle, 1, 2... Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. This deck list is hard for me to run right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's still a Hex open with that down. Not any direct target for the Viper. We're just in so much danger. Okay. Unfortunately, it's going to be Strategic Betrayal, see which one they choose. And then we know it's probably going to be the Otter, right? And then we Hex the Siren, and I'm hoping that if they do any more shenanigans with Pursuit, that we actually can target the Siren and maybe have a chump for the Viper. Take 8. They could counter the Hex, though, if we pass back, which is pretty sketchy. Okay, we'll see. Mana base definitely holding us up a little bit here. We go down to 19. Yeah, because over the Betrayal, the Cornered by Black Mages first would have been really good. Extra Wizard would have meant that the Trance Kuja would be on the board, and all of a sudden it's a deadly card at that point too. Especially if we could pull off the Collective Inferno in hand as well. Mana off the top wouldn't hurt anything. Boomerang basics. My wizards. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Cryogen Relic. It looks like they're not even going for any sacrifices this turn anyways. If they see mana here, they could still pop a clue, try for an extra counter on the Siren, but it doesn't look like that's what they're doing. The extra creatures to actually sacrifice to definitely shows a weakness in this build. Oh, we're forced to chump with Kuja unless we take the 6 and discard a couple here. How do we want to do this, guys? If we're gonna chump with Kuja, then it's okay to do the Blight Gain too. Isn't terrible. So back up to 11. But we can also sacrifice the other wizard that we've generated. Ah, it's too bad they got that freebooter, man. In other words, the Cornered by Black Mages would have worked beautifully here. I don't think we're going to have time for Circle of Power, even though the life gain is really good. Actually, maybe we just don't have time for Collective Inferno. and then sacrifice the wizard? I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't. Take the 6 down to 5. If we don't find a way to remove the Rotten Mouth, okay, actually, Lightning Strike's pretty good. Pop the freebooter, but again, we just don't have the mana for the Cornered by Black Mages at that point then. So I suppose that's probably it, right? Let's just see what we see off the top. There you go. There you go, Raucous Theater. Circle of Power. We can send that. Gain the 3 from the swing. Back up to 6. Chump with the other wizard. I think we're super out of this one. Nice, nice. So then we get another wizard there too. See, if we would have discarded 2 cards, again, maybe we could have actually flipped this into the trance. Instead of sacrificing the wizard that was on the board. Opponent's deck list is scary. Dimir Sacrifice, I suppose, right? Probably all 4 Vipers in there. And plenty of early cards that don't mind dying. Or early cards that come in with multiple things, right? And then Obsessive Pursuit has been a really neat one too. Hey, there's the second Rotten Mouth Viper. Oh, buddy. Let's do Circle of Power, I suppose. They do go for the Fool swing, because I don't know how we're going to be getting around the 12 life here. We lose 1, 2. We still get to keep Kuja around. Take 4. No, we have to chump here. What am I saying? So maybe Lightning Strike? The problem is their sacrifice is still the freebooter. What a mess, guys. What a disaster. There you go. These 2 probably. If we save the Lightning Strike, then I suppose what ends up happening here 2. Okay, lose 4. Okay. Okay. Then we chump. Oh, but the freebooter got the boost, so we died anyways. Good game, opponent. Wow. I can't think these games through, man. This is tough. These are tough ones. One more? One more. Let's do this. Let's do this. Win or lose, I'm relatively satisfied with what we were able to showcase here. I actually think that the deck list can be piloted much better as well, so that's something to consider for it, I suppose. It's still going to be super jank, though. Don't get me wrong. Even if I was piloting it somehow perfect, I still think we'd be on the run in a lot of these, so we'll see, we'll see. Good hand. Oh dear. Oh dear. That kind of spoiled my turn 1 here. Do we want to get rid of that? Or do we want to wait for the Badger Mole to land? I think we get rid of that, guys. I think we pop the elf before they ramp with it. Raucous Theater powers up the Verge, which gives us access to Lightning Strike next turn, but we could also just see more mana off the top that's untapped too. So if the mole still comes down, we still have the pop for the mole. It's a Gene Pollinator, that's kind of good news for us. It's actually starting town, so we do have a turn 2 if we wanted the Mage. But I think we're just going to keep the Burst Lightning open. Second Duress is actually going to be sent because it's not that good versus these ones. It can pick up like the Ascension and whatnot, but let's keep the Burst Lightning and be happy about it. Then turn 3 has to be the starting town. We'll still have Cornered then, maybe. Innkeeper's Talent. Wow, that would have been a good target for Duress, actually. Yep. Pop it. Pop it before they play another 1-mana card, right? It's worth it. No target for the talent then, too. And Coruscation Mage into Duress over the Cornered now is worth it because that's our Yeah, that's fine. As much as I love doing the offspring on this, let's see what else they got in the hand here. Give it a little look-see. Oh dear. Well, luckily we got rid of a lot of their ramp. For now, hopefully they miss mana. If they find the third, they're gonna dump the other 2 ramp pieces on the board and easily have the Ouroboros. So with 2 of the ramp pieces on the board, the Cornered by Black Mages no longer takes care of this, so the Boroid's going to come down regardless here. It's still going to be Cornered by Black Mages, though, right? Over the Circle of Power. And it's just going to be the Pollinator that they sacrifice, but we also have the swing because no matter what, they're going to keep the other creature around. Oh, never mind. Never mind, they decided to keep the Pollinator because it's actually a 2/3. That makes more sense, opponent. Good play. Well, they find more mana off the top anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered too much. Come on, more removal off the top. Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay, they also use the Innkeeper's Talent there. Boost the Boroid, then Boroid boosts wide. We do actually find a Burst Lightning, but it's not quite enough right now. Circle of Power could find us an untapped source. It's totally fine to do here because we're probably dead next turn. We're probably out of this one, unfortunately, guys. Good draws, man. Really good draws. Okay. We might not die here. We might be able to chump successfully. If we can just, like, chump one thing. Okay, the Boroids boost wide, then boost wide. Gene Pollinator from hand. Good draws from the opponent overall this game. Wow. I'm just gonna take it, dude. Down to 2. Let's see. Circle of Power. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't play it because we're exactly at 2, right? Even so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably Collective Inferno anyways. Really neat stuff, man. We have really, really neat things going on here. 2. Here you go. Poke down to 13. Call Wizard. Burst Lightning opponent's face. 6 damage there. Wait a minute, is this lethal? This is lethal, dude. This is freaking lethal, man. Holy cow. We also have the Blight here, too. Does it... I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess we can target our own. This is what I mean. It's so hard to think through, like, where the pokes are going through at that point, where the punches are going through, right? I shouldn't have played this one as my first deck list for the recording day, let me tell you that. Holy cow, this one melted my brain. Cool stuff, though. Really neat. Let's go over this one, huh? Yeah, going the Inferno route. Luckily, my favorite thing, even at like the end of games, even the ones that look like we're not going to win, is maximizing the last turn of damage, right? And so sometimes I miss lethal, but because I'm maximizing damage anyways, the game finds it for me. You know what I mean? Collective Inferno, actually really sick. You get a couple wizards on the board, and all of a sudden, every card you play is deadly. Really, really neat stuff. Look at this, guys. You got double black and cornered by black mages, double red in Collective Inferno. And how many turns are you going to want to play multiple 1-drops on the same turn, but you need that specific mana source? The dual land is essential in here. And we opted for Starting Town because over something like Multiversal Passage, Starting Town can actually flip back and forth between the black and the red source that you need at any given time. So over, like, if you call black source on Passage, now that Passage can't tap when you top deck a Burst Lightning. which you might actually need to do consistently too. And you would, if you had passage in here, you probably would be calling it on black quite often, especially since one of our main pieces of removal requires that double black. Again, with the passage too, there's actually going to be moments where you just won't have double red for a Collective Inferno because you're tapping like 3 of your wizards for black sources, and only a few of our wizards in here actually have red in the casting cost, and they actually need to survive somehow too. I'm very impressed by what the decklist was able to showcase, but I'm standing by it. Yes, I could have played it out better, but also this is janky. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. The meta's too strong for this not to be jank. So put it on the do not craft list. There's a lot of cards in here that just won't see play anywhere else outside of this, right? Probably. Probably, right? Like Kuja, you're going to want a wizard deck list, and it's Rakdos colors, so you're going to want Rakdos Wizards. So where else would this go? Probably nowhere. So, you know, it's not really worth the craft. If you already have all the cards, you could give it a shot if you're willing to lose, right? If you're okay with probably a little bit less than a 50% win rate. Or maybe I'm being way too hard on the deck list. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's deserving of like a 52% win rate or something. Yeah, let me know in the comments for sure. You know, I say put it on the do not craft list, but it's actually not too bad, is it? There's a good chunk of uncommons and commons in here. Is that common? Yeah, Black Mage's Rod is common. So is this. Circle of Power is uncommon. There you go, guys. That's not terrible. A lot of commons, a lot of uncommons, a few rares and mythics, and Dark Confidant's one that could potentially see play in other deck lists. I don't know where yet, but it could pop up somewhere, right? If you guys play with Dark Confidant, let me know. Now, I guess the mana base definitely boosts the amount of rares. Luckily, the mana base can be played in other deck lists. But all of a sudden, when you put the mana base in with the rares, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more expensive for sure, for sure. There's a lot of like, what am I trying to say here? I guess synergies. There's a lot of lines of play. There we go. That like every point of damage matters. So like even the early game, if you're not optimizing that extra poke, it's probably detrimental to the deck list. But then there's some turns where it's like, well, if I don't duress now, then they're just going to do this. If I try to be patient with duress so I can get a couple extra pokes through, they're just going to do this or this, right? So there's some awkward lines, I guess, which also increases the difficulty of the deck list. Like, is it really worth playing this now? Maybe it is worth playing duress if the opponent played a tapped Azorius land, right? So you know that you're going right into control. You want to grab, or for that matter too, maybe you're up against like mono white mid-range and you want to make sure you grab Caretaker's Talent before they play it or something, and then you don't worry about that poke in hopes that they don't just have an infinite way to restock their hand, or close to infinite, right? So yeah, so I guess the lines of play and the synergies make this deck list a tough one with just incredibly tough decisions, and most of the time that does mean you have to know what you're up against or come close to it based on the opponent's first land, right? So knowledge of what we're seeing in the meta right now would definitely help this one. Thank goodness we got Blood Crypt, dude. I love Shocklands. I love that we got the rest of them with Lorwyn Eclipsed. And Blood Crypt was definitely one that we needed in Standard, so more Rakdos aggro deck lists can be visited for sure. What else, guys? I think that's pretty much everything. The matches, I guess, showcased the deck list pretty well. Yeah. Any ideas for Collective Inferno? Let me know in the comments. What other creature types should we visit with this one? Seems pretty good, actually. I liked it a lot today. It seems a little better in a deck list like this where you don't have to worry about the creatures swinging in, right? Because if you have to worry about the creature swinging in, the opponents just have chump blockers for days usually, and there is every other match Badger Mole, so they know how to go wide. And so not only do other deck lists have chump blockers for days, that deck list is just impossible to swing into sometimes. So it really depends. Maybe we go for like an evasion style deck list with Inferno. But it makes a lot of sense in here where we're just able to bypass the attack and just poke the opponent's face. Like I was saying though, turn the pokes into punches. Would have been really cool to be able to pull off an Inferno with the Trance Kuja as well. That would have been epic. Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? Let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments. What would you add or take out? Have you been visiting Rakdos Wizards recently? If so, what does the list look like? I'm very curious. Either way, if you made it this far in, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I see you in the next video.